Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are watching this. Yes, come on in to the Cosmic Highway of the Mama G's Coffee Corner and warm up. It is cold where I am right now. I was just looking at a few people that she and I saw in her post on Instagram, oh, just going for a swim this morning. I'm like, what? Who's going for a swim this morning? Then I remembered she lives in LA. So I wasn't going for a swim this morning, that's for sure. There's no way. It's just like, whoa, too cold, too cold. And so come on in, everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit, always want to talk a little bit about classes that are going to be coming up for me, and especially the 21-day cacao ceremony one that's going to be starting on November 1st. And one of the beautiful things about doing and setting up ceremony is allowing yourself to set up your intention for the day. And doing ceremony doesn't mean it has to be 3 hours long. It doesn't have to be a grandeur of an affair, but it can be very coming in simplicity. And especially with cacao. Cacao is such a beautiful fruit because it is the cacao plant. And the cacao plant has such nutrients in it, and it is called the Mother Goddess plant. It is coming in and aligning with that divine goddess energy. And that's where I want to come in with this cacao ceremony. And a few people have asked, where do you get, who's doing 3 hours self ceremony? It's not 3 hours. It's not 3 hours. It's 20 minutes. Yeah. Is that, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I didn't see what you said before. So this is coming in, and what I find that's so beautiful about doing ceremony, or even doing the morning meditations that I've been doing for the last couple months with people, it's coming together. The power and the unity of coming together. When you come together in such unity and beauty, it is amazing how life unfolds for you in a more beautiful, conscious way of bringing in your divine guidance. And with that comes in the beauty, the prosperity, the blissfulness. And even when, the crazy happens in your life, or the upsets it is coming back to know that you have set this intention for the day and setting the intention. And I'm going to call Candace my morning greeter. Like when you go to church, you have a morning greeter, or the person who greets you. Candace is my official greeter. She greets everybody as they come in. It says good morning to everybody. I love it. I love it. So I am designating Candace as the morning greeter to greet everybody as they come in. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's like meeting the Waltons. Yes. Definitely. But it's coming into the vibration of the Mayan calendar, because the Mayan calendar is, and I'm just going to pull this up, follows the cycle of it's 260 days, and it follows the cycle of the corn, right? So the growth of the corn, and it comes in with 28 days, hence the moon cycle. So bringing in that energy of the divine guidance and the goddess energy, and then bringing in the guidance of the moon, and setting our intentions for each day. So that starts November 1st. We also have, not only with that starting on November 1st, October 28th, or the October 24th, we got the Celtic moon goddess. So the 13 moons of the Celtic goddess. And working with the energies of the 13 moons, and of course, and I've showed you guys this book before, but it is the Mythic Moons of Avalon. And coming into the lunar energies, where right now we have just finished the going through the dark moon duration. And now we are in the duration of the waxing crescent moon. And from the 3rd through the 7th day after the moon, this is the sun-moon angles to the earth at 45 degrees. And the moon is partly, but less than 1/2 illuminated by the sun. And the moon rise and the moon set. So the moon rises 2 hours after sunrise and sets 2 hours after sunset. So rises 2 hours after sunrise, and sets 2 hours after sunset. So the moon rises and the moon sets. And the time of apex, the moon is at its highest point in the sky 4 hours before the sun sets. So doing the 13 Celtic goddess moons is beginning to understand how the moon flows. And with that flow, so even coming into the awareness that, okay, so the moon now is in the waxing crescent. So we are at where the moon is rising 2 hours after sunrise. So the sunrise was at 8. So the moon hasn't risen yet. It'll be rising in about an hour. And and then it sets 2 hours after the sun. So it's coming into this awareness of what is going on up here. Right? And bringing that energy down here. And with the Takeo ceremony and with that energy, it just helps us to align to how, especially as women, with that feminine energy. And for men too. It's like I always forget about the men. Don't forget about the men. But coming into that divineness, coming into that alignment with the energies. And the energy for this is cleansing of the body, spirit, inner renewal, new beginnings, integration of the lessons derived from the shadow work. So because we came from the dark, right? So the dark that we just had for the day of the dark moon until 3 days after, in this account, the new moon refers to the first silver of the crescent visible. So this is a dark moon. The sun angles into the relative to the earth at 0. So the moon non-illuminated side is fully facing the earth, so it is not visible. The only exceptions to this occurs during a solar eclipse, when the moon passes between the earth and the sun, which is going to be happening next month at the end of November. So November, we are going to be starting the eclipse season because the south node is in Sagittarius and the north node is in Gemini. So it changes, our eclipse season for when it's happening. And the eclipse season is where the nodal nodes are in the sky. You can't see them. They are knots. They are like little vortexes in the sky. So, and when the moon passes through that energy, that causes the eclipses. Now, with this dark moon that we just went through, the moon rises and sets with the sun. The moon is at the highest point at noon, and the energy turning within, confronting the shadow and banishing the negativity and letting go of what no longer serves our greatest good. So this moon, and I know you all felt it because this moon was just like so intense. I said it was the most intense. So this moon coming in with such intensity, such vigor and vitality, and the energies of the vigor and vitality of it is where it was really getting us to cleanse and clear a lot to do with our relationships, our relationships with others. How are we putting them into the earth, into our earthly walk? And now as we go into the waxing, we are coming into the time where we are going to be cleansing the body and mind and spirit. Now, in the 13 moon Celtic class, it is a 1-year course. where we come together anytime for 2 to 4 times a month, depending. Just to sometimes it's just a check-in to see, okay, now we are in the waxing gibbous. So when we come to a certain phase, which is just before the full moon, let's check in. What's going on? What's happening? When we become more aware of the energies that are flowing, then we are able to come into an understanding of how we flow, how we are feeling, and even understanding where the moon is. Is the moon in Scorpio? Is the moon, in Sagittarius right now? Where is the moon? If you're not aware of where the moon is, you can always find apps that are going to tell you where the moon is, and you can look that up. And once you start to figure out each day where the moon is, I'm going to pull up the chart. I'm going to do the share. Make it bigger. There we go. Yeah, baby. So I'm going to pull this chart up so you can see where the energies are. See if it's this one. There we go. So here's the chart of today. So this is today's chart for right now, this moment. So we have the sun is still in Libra. It's right up here, right? So we have the sun in Libra. There is Mercury, and the moon has passed over Mercury. So it went, bloop, and it's just a bleep. You see, when the moon hits something, and you might feel something, it's because it went over a certain energy force, like Mercury, or it went over something in your natal chart. It hit up something in your chart. So it hit there and it's moving on. So it's around 21 degrees right now, and then it'll be going into lovely little Sagittarius. So, and we can look at over here what the energies are. So right now there's not a lot of air in the with the energies. So, when it comes to thought, when it comes to the intellect, there isn't a lot of air. We still have a lot of earth. There's earth. We have some water and a little bit of fire, not much fire, but we mainly are in an energy of earth. So for a lot of us, that feeling of heaviness, of, getting things done, doing things has been quite a strain. So the more we get to understand this, the more we begin to play with this, the more we become to understand our ebb and flow. And when we can start to understand our ebb and flow, then we're able to bring in that manifesting or moonfesting. We begin to see, okay, I flow better with a waning moon, or I flow better with a waxing moon, or I feel so much exhilaration when it's a new moon, and I'm flatlined every full moon. Understanding that means that I am, if I'm going to plan out my day or plan out my, my monthly journal, of what I'm doing. Well, if I know that the full moon is going to be October 31st on Halloween, that maybe I'm not going to plan a lot of activities. Maybe that's going to be a real day of coming into ritual, a real day of coming inward and doing some inward work. So this is where this beautiful class is, this workshop coming in and working with it and understanding and working with and visualizing the sovereignty of ourselves and bringing in the sovereignty of the moon. So, which is what we will be working with each and every month. And then there's also different elixirs that we make that work with the different moons and the different times of year and doing moon activations. So there's so much in here to do and to go through that working as a group is going to be fantastic. So there's that. That's a yearly one. It is $50. It will be $50 a month, or you could pay out and it'll be $600 for the whole year. We also have different ones. We have peeking into November, which is on the 28th, which will be, and all my classes are on Zoom. So when we're doing things, and a lot of people are like, well, I want to have hands-on, I want to be there. And I think that's wonderful, and I think that's great. But at this time, our best bet to reach more of a grander audience and for you to connect with more people from different places is Zoom. And it allows us to expand our awareness of others that are around us, and even open up to new ideas and new ways and other people's. And plus, you know what? And if you want to, you can stay in your jammies. Just makes it so, where you're comfortable. In the new year, there will be classes that will be where, if you are in the Calgary area, that we will be hosting at Blessed Circle. And those ones are going to be held in the new year. So I will be having classes in the new year that will be at Blessed Circle. And those classes they will both be on Zoom, and they will be where you could come in and have the hands-on experience if that's solely what you want. But you will find, as we go forward, as the energies are changing, especially December 21st, as we are heading into Aquarius, we are going to be having a lot more air energy coming into the earth. So, and we haven't had a lot of air energy in a long time. So bringing that air energy is going to be bringing in clarity. It's going to be bringing in new ideas, new ways. And anytime the planets are in an air sign, there is an unsettlingness, because we are having to move, having to flow, and our thoughts are probably moving very quickly. And you'll notice that as you watch it. Like for me, when the moon goes into Gemini, it's like, oh my God, how much more multitasking can I do? Like, excuse me, stop. I'm exhausted already. God bless the Geminis. Or if it's like in Virgo, it's like all of a sudden you get lasered. Okay, I got to clean that. I got to do this. I got to organize that. Boom, 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 boom. You start to really get into how the moons are like, working with us. With Scorpio, it just brings us into a deeperness and sometimes a very unsettling feelings, because more is coming up. More of the truth is coming up. And we are heading into Scorpio season, and it starts next week. And as we head into the Scorpio season, it is bringing in a lot of energy, a lot of energy. Yes, it is. So we are going to be having this energy with Scorpio coming in. And as we say, see you later to the Libra season. Bye-bye, Libra. We are transitioning into a different type of vibe, and that's going to be happening on October 22nd. So you're going to be hearing me talk about more of this. This is where we are going to be seeking more harmony. This is where, because we're shifting, well, I shouldn't say we're seeking more harmony. We're shifting from the energy of harmony seeking, and we're deep diving more into the shadow. And that's where the Scorpio comes in. And that is for 4 weeks. And we'll be called inward to discover new ways to encounter greater emotional and financial security, because Scorpio does rule finances, along with Taurus. Remember, they're opposite. The bullion, what is it personally to me? And Scorpios bring in, okay, what is it doing for everybody else? What is that wealth that's coming in for everybody else? And this brings in, with the Sun, Scorpio will be shining a light on business, finances, and the deeper subconscious and insecurities that keep us from claiming our true desires. So we're going to be heading deeply into this energy. And as we head into this energy, it is a time for us to really start to look at. And there's some big shit happening in November. We have both Mercury and Mars going forward. We have a Jupiter-Pluto conjunction coming up. And we have a few other little surprises that are going to be hitting us during the November month. Oh, yes, that little surprise. Oh, there's a solar eclipse at the end of the month. So we have a lot of energy that's going to be really impacting us, and it was all generated from the new moon and all the squares that were happening at the new moon. Then we're going to be having when the moon conjuncts Uranus at the end of the month, it is going to be activating even more intense energies for awareness for us and cleansing and clearing, where we will be doing a lot more shadow work as we are heading into the Christmas season. So there's a lot that's going to be coming up for us, and there's going to be a lot of energy that we are going to uncover during this time. So it's going to be quite exciting. I think it's going to be quite exciting. And of course, it is my birthday. So this is a time for us that anyone can achieve with drive and ambition. That's the thing. You got to have drive and ambition with this energy, because it's showing us that the Scorpio teaches us to overcome our fears and our limitations, and can be done much faster when we seek to understand where our resistance comes from. So we can cut it off at the root. So with the Scorpio, which is widely misunderstood sign. You may, because we automatically think of Scorpio as, the taboo sign. It is subject to sex and death and crime and the occult. Well, yeah, that is a part of it. But the only reason anything is made out to be called taboo is fear. So the big question we'll each need to answer to ourselves during this time: how am I not allowing myself to attain what I really want in life? All because I won't even admit to myself or others that I really want it. And the other question that comes up with all of this: what if I really am capable of having it sooner than I think, if I just had a bit of strategy? So the Scorpio energy is going to be coming on, and it is a very beautiful, magical time. And it really aligns beautifully with the 13 Celtic moons. So just tying in all the energies, and we are starting when the sun is in Scorpio season. So there's a reason why everything is starting at a certain time point in the classes that I'm doing. So it's all within this cosmic highway of really bringing in the elements, really bringing in the energies, and working with this alchemy of discovery, and the alchemy that is going to unfold for us, so that we are coming into a flow into our life and not coming into a push and pull. Because the push and the pull brings in stress, brings in anxiety, brings in overwhelmness, gets our brain going and scattering. So this is where we are wanting to come into more of a magical time of setting down some beautiful intentions as we move towards December. And December is, as we, we're going to be coming into the Yuletide energy. So we're going to have energies to do with, December 5th is St. Nicholas Day. And we are going to have celebrations, for bringing in the Yule. And then, of course, there's Christmas, and then New Year's, and then into 2021. So we are coming into some real energy, and the word sleigh ride is coming in, maybe because it's snowing outside. But, coming into such a beautiful sleigh ride of energy that's coming forth for us. Lighting up those candles, I'm going to carry it through to the spring this year. Yes. And that's so important. It's so important because, you know what? We're going to be needing it. As we are heading into more of the restructuring and the building and putting things together into our lives. So we're going to be finding that structural part of doing things as we are heading into a realigning our energies. Now, the other part too that I find that is very intriguing is because I've had a lot of questions about my auction. And I've been sitting on the fence whether to do the auction again or not. And the answer came up that yes, I am doing the auction, but it's going to change a bit, where you are able to, where the first 2 weeks of December, I don't do readings. So December, if you want to get, okay, here it is. If you want to get your readings, I'm going to try and get you booked in for November. Many of you have held on to your readings all year long, and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and then you're going to try and get in, and I'm going to tell you I don't have time. Because there's so much coming, like so many new things that I'm working on and doing that, and especially for 2021, that my time, I'm a one-person band, and I can only play so many jingles. So bringing in that energy. So we will be having the auction, and the auction is going to be including classes. So classes are going to be put up on the auction. So my Angel Alchemy class is going to be coming up. Meeting the angelic, the angelic realm, the feminine realm of the angels, is going to be another one, and the chakra classes. So, and those classes are all going to be held in the spring. Those classes are going to be the ones that are going to come up, and the karmic release. So we have the karmic release that's going to be coming up also, that I will be doing again in the spring. We will have daily mini courses that we will be doing that you can bid on if you want to join. So, or pay, not bid, pay for. So there's going to be, I'm going to have a lineup of different special courses that, okay, from 1 to 4, I'm going to be doing candle making. So you can join me on the candle making. It'll cost what, $25. It's going to be on Zoom. You can see how I start, what I'm learning from doing candle making, or how to put together a honey pot. So join me on this day, and we're going to go through the step-by-step of doing a honey pot. So we're going to have different things like that I'm going to be doing throughout the auction. So not only will there be items to bid on, but you can join me on mini classes. So that's going to be something new that's coming in with the auction. So we're going to have mini classes, and that you can definitely, pay, $25 for, come on in, and we're going to have an hour or two, and we're going to talk about something to do with the energy, something to do with the Yuletide energies, and creating, maybe creating something. So there's that's going to be a little bit of a change. And the beautiful part is that I'll always love your feedback on what you think. If you think that's a good idea, is that something that really jazzes you? Does that something that you want to see for the energies, or for part of the auction? Because I've been holding the auction for, let's see, last year is 2019, 2018, 2017. So since 2017, I've been doing the auction. I did a little one in 2016. So we had an auction in 2016, but then the big, 2017. And then we did one in 2018, which was the real big one. And then we have 2019. So last year's auction, and then this will be 2020. So this will be the 5th year of the auction. So having your perspective on what you want and what you would like to see within the auction. There will be some packages that will be coming into it. And the different packages. What's a honey pot? A honey pot is used to create energy to bring it to you, sweetness to you, whether it's love or money. So it is a something that we create. It's a conjuring, and you do it. It's a ceremony for 5 to 7 days. So when I teach you how to do that, and bringing in a honey pot. And what's a honey pot? So you'd have to purchase the class to find out more. So that's what the honey pot is. So if there's anything like specific, sometimes some of you want to know more about or have a little mini class on it, definitely that's what we will do. So I'll just love to have your input. So my loves, I'm hoping that you all have, sending you out such beautiful, vibrant vibes today. And take a look at my classes. From here, I'm going to be going onto my website, on the Guru Mama website, and update some things there, and then try and update some things on the Mary June Tracy page. So, and get that all done up. So now I'm giving you lots of warning that there is going to be a 12 Days of Christmas auction starting on December 1st. So if you are time to save up your nickels and dimes and loonies and toonies and dollars and everything so that you can bid on some really cool items that will be coming up on the auction. So lots of time. So that will be December. So sending you guys off with so much love. Have a fabulous, fabulous day. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be. Thank you, and thank you for joining. Bye-bye, everybody. Blessings.